Hi, and you are Melesha Banhan.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're at ABS. But I know it's not, well, you are with the International, you're the coordinator for the International Union for Conservation
Of nature.
of Nature.
Yes.
And we're talking about the ABS Week exhibition. But when I saw ABS, I immediately thought of Antigua Broadcasting Station.
Right,
Because that was our home for EZO and the TV show for many years.
Yes.
Yeah?
But in this case, ABS talks about accessing genetic resources and sharing in the benefits that are derived from their utilization.
So tell us why you're here in Trinidad and Tobago.
So this week we have what we've called ABS Week. And essentially what it is we're looking at how the Caribbean is coping with international groups, pharmaceutical companies, cosmetic companies coming in and accessing our genetic resources and deriving pharmaceutical products or cosmetic products, like your glam lady over there.
Yes.
And using those genetic resources to make these things, but not necessarily sharing any of the benefits from what they reap with the Caribbean country.
So, you know, last week we were talking about products like, well, plants.
Right, yes.
Which we call, well, they say herbs now.
Yes.
But, you know, we used to say bush medicine long
Yes.
time, right? You guys used to say that in Antigua as well?
Yes.
Bush medicine. So you talk about things like Zeba Peak and Zeba Farm. Do you have the same names and so?
Not necessarily. I've found in the different countries that they call the same things different names, and they use it for different products.
Right.
In some cases, it's used for the same ailment, but they make it in different ways.
So the bottom line is that we want the countries in the Caribbean to benefit from the bush, the herbs that grow here that are used to make pharmaceutical products internationally.
Well, let's take something that is internationally known. You can look at something like birth control pills. The knowledge for that actually came from a plant out of South Africa.
Right.
And the knowledge of the indigenous people there who used to use it to control the number of children that they had. You have pharmaceutical companies come in and they take that knowledge, they take the plant, they make a pill, they synthesize it, they don't have to go back to the country. It's $1 billion industry,
and the money
but nothing goes back to the
So
people
is there
of
a
the
precedent anywhere in the world, in any country, for what you want to set up in the region?
Well, there is precedence. We have an international agreement called the Nagoya Protocol, which is where the access and benefit sharing comes from. And we're looking at how the countries can become more equipped to implement what the protocol says, to put in legislation, to put in policies, and to make sure that there is a process that is followed for these companies that are coming in to obtain permission to get what they're taking, and also to give the countries back something, as well as to give the people whose knowledge they're taking back something.
So what's the process from here and the expectations in terms of a timeline?
Well, at this point, what we're hoping is that all the countries will actually put in place the legislative requirements to implement the Nagoya Protocol in country.
Right.
At the moment, except for Antigua and Barbuda and Guyana, most of the English-speaking Caribbean countries do not have legislation or policies in place that are going to help to put whatever processes are necessary in for accessing genetic resources and sharing in benefits. So
has Antigua and Barbuda and Guyana started to see any sort of traction because you guys have the law in place?
Yes, they do have that because at this point, because they now have their procedures in place, they've been able to benefit from some of the researchers that are coming in and taking things. So they've been able to benefit in most cases from non-monetarily, in the sense of getting data collected that they can share with whatever research findings have been discovered from whatever has been collected, they've been able to share in it.
But this is a booming $1 billion industry, as you say, which could redound to the benefit of all the Caribbean islands.
It could be.
Who are straddled probably just by the limited resources that surround tourism, for example.
Exactly.
You know?
And right now we have a critical situation where you have people coming in posting as tourists, and they are taking out resources. And those resources are going out, they're doing research, they're benefiting from it, but there's nothing coming in.
The thing is that you may think that how would you find out if they're doing that, but in some of the islands it's so small. You find out within days or within minutes of what's going on.
And you usually find out when they go and announce that they've discovered something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's happening now. You look at cannasol. It's used for glaucoma in the Caribbean, and it was made from cannabis. Now, where was it accessed? I'm quite sure that nobody's going to let you know exactly which country so that they could share any of the benefits from whatever has been gained monetarily. But the fact is that it is happening in the Caribbean.
So you are here to drum up support for the legislation to be in place across the Caribbean.
Well, we have been working on a project. It's called Advancing the Nagoya Protocol in Countries of the Caribbean Region.
Yes.
And there are 8 countries in the Caribbean that have been participating in this project. And Trinidad and Tobago is one of those countries.
Good. Yes.
And what we're trying to do is to get the countries to realize how critical it is to implement legislation, regulations, and policies that can actually promote the safe and legal access to genetic resources, because the idea is not to stop research. We need it.
Yes.
I'm sure that the next big drug to cure something is right there. So we're not aiming to stop research, but we're aiming to make sure that it benefits the countries where it's being done.
And where it comes from, the
Exactly.
source of all of this pharmaceutical or cosmetic.
If you're going to access it, you should give something back.
Absolutely. Country of origin, sort of.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Well, Melesha Banhan,
Yes.
thank you so much for coming and sharing this information with us. Very insightful. Is it Dr. Melesha Banhan?
Yes.
Oh, you're so modest. You didn't even tell me anything. My doctor's like, it's doctor, it's doctor. It's not on my notes, but I'm certainly happy that you came to
Thank you
share
very
this
much.
with us.
And we'd like to invite the public to come by. It's 3 days
Yes.
at the Hilton Hotel, and we're going to have displays from different organizations.
Yes. Where is it going to be held?
And at the Hilton Hotel,
Yeah.
and it's throughout Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And we'll have performances from some of the indigenous peoples here in Trinidad, as well as the Maroons from Jamaica and the Amerindians from Guyana, because we want to highlight also the importance of traditional knowledge.
What time?
It's going to be throughout the days from 9 o'clock to 5 each day.
And is it open to the public
it's
free of charge?
open to the public free of charge.
Oh, wonderful. I'll probably pop in on one of those days. So from Tuesday to Thursday at the Trinidad Hilton from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And people would be part of the conversation and also the entertainment that you're
listen
providing.
in on some of the presentations where, for example, looking at the issue of anti-venom and how that could benefit a lot of the countries if we can do some South-South cooperation.
Wonderful. There's some good stuff, So even in the middle of Carnival, we have something very interesting and also very important to the entire Caribbean region. So going up to the Trinidad Hilton between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Tuesday to Thursday this week, and for the ABS Week exhibition. Thank you once again, Doctor, for joining us, and get a bit of Trinidad and Tobago in here.
I will do so.
Yeah?